This is Xander Rothaker, and today is November 17th, 2015, Victorville, California. I am here interviewing Tanya Scott Tatum. What year were you born in?
I was born in 1953.
What city and state were you born in?
I was born in Corona, California.
Can you tell me a little about your childhood? What were you like as a child?
I was a tomboy. I liked to collect frogs. I always played outside. Loved to play cops and robbers with my bicycle. I was pretty spoiled.
Who are your grandparents? Your great-grandparents?
I never met my great-grandparents. Both of my parents were older when I was born, and I never met my mother's parents and my father's parents. I did spend some time with them, but I never met my great-grandparents at all. They had already passed away.
What memories do you have of them?
I don't have any of my great-grandparents, but I do have my grandparents. My grandfather was a part Indian, and he would always dance his Indian dances and do Indian chants for me. And he could also yodel, and he would yodel for us. And my grandma was the best baker in the world.
What kind of work did they do?
My father or my grandparents? Well, my grandparents, they owned a feed store. And my parents, my father was a butcher, and my mother was a cashier. They owned their own grocery store, and so they worked together.
How did you meet your wife, husband, or significant other?
I met my husband playing darts. We were on a dart team, and we played different dart tournaments, and we became dart partners.
How long were you married to that special person?
We've been married for 37 years.
What are some of the best memories you have about your husband?
Some of the best memories I have about my husband: spending time with family, being there. My husband was in the room at the time of my grandson, actually Xander, who's giving me this interview. We were all in the room when Xander was born, and that was probably my most favorite memory of spending that with my husband.
Can you tell me about the family you raised? How many children did you have?
I had twin daughters, which are now 41. They were opposites of each other. I always say one made me be a mother and one mothered me to death. They were very active. In fact, they tied for most athletic girl in junior high. They've always been very close with each other, and I was always blessed.
Just tell me if you don't want any questions. If you just want me to back off of that question, I'll be happy to.
So far, fine with your answer, with the questions.
What special memories do you have of your family?
Of my family? Oh, holidays, I would say. Holidays are always fun. Waking them up early Christmas morning and watching their little faces when they were so excited to see what they got.
Okay. What was the world like while you were growing up?
Oh, much better, I think, than it is now. We used to play outside, but there was no electronic toys. In fact, we had what they called a party line, so everyone shared the same telephone. When I came home from school, I actually would have to pick up the phone and see if somebody was on it and have them hang up so that I could use the phone. We made skateboards out of our old skates. We always played on the bicycles. We would play outside until the lights came on. Whenever the street lights came on, we all knew it was time to go home. We played outside from morning till night on the weekends, and after school every night we played kick the can or baseball or soccer in the middle of the streets. We just were always outside. I think it's much more fun when I was younger.
Can you tell me one or two people who have been the kindest to you in your life? What did they do that was so kind?
It would be my parents. My parents were there for me for everything. From when driving me every place I ever went, to Girl Scouts, for being with me whenever I had an earache or a nightmare, for bringing home stray animals and letting me bring home all these animals, from the time I had my children, being there to help me take care of them and learn what to do as a new parent, to the very end when I always would call them every day to find out, if I have a major decision. They always help me make any decisions, so it would be definitely my parents.
What if they were here? What would you say to them?
Oh, I dream about that all the time. What would I do if I had one more day with them, just one more day? And I think I would just ask my pop to tell me one of his stories. He always would tell me a story, and I always have to say, "Honest, Pop, is that the truth?" He'd always make me laugh. And my mom, she would always just rub my leg and pat my leg, and rub my leg and pat my leg, just to feel her touch me one more time. That would be all I would want.
Has there been anyone in your life who has influenced you in a positive manner that you would like to tell them about?
Let's see.
Also,
I would have to say I work at a school. I teach special ed, and I would have to say it would be my principal. I have learned so much from her, of so many things, just so many things. I'd have to say the principal of my school. She's been quite the role model for me.
How has this person impacted your life?
She has taught me how to communicate better. She has taught me how to be more patient. She has taught me the tricks of the trade of being a teacher.
Good job so far. Can you tell me one of your happiest memories?
One of my happiest memories. Again, I have to go to the birth of you. Being there to watch you be born, and then every day after school, for months afterwards, I'd come straight home to your house just so I could hold you and you could fall asleep in my arms. So those are my best memories.
Can you tell me about one of the most difficult moments in your life?
Yes. My father, before my father passed away, he was on a machine, and I had to make the decision to take him off the machine and let him go ahead and go to heaven. And that was the hardest thing, was to make the decision to take him off that machine. I still think about it a lot.
Can you tell me about a historic event that had made an impact on your life?
When I was in 5th grade, John F. Kennedy was assassinated, and I remember walking into my classroom and seeing my teacher cry, and it's just been one of those things that everybody was just so devastated. It was one of those memories that just stuck with me.
What are your most vivid memories of that event?
Again, I'd have to say watching all the teachers' reactions at the school.
How did it make you feel?
Very sad and very scared.
Topics might include World at War II. Okay. How would you like to be remembered?
I would like to be remembered as someone who taught children, made them smile, and made life and learning exciting.
What are your hopes for me and someday for my children?
The hopes for me is that you will have many stories about me that you can share with your children and your family about all the fun things we've done and all the ways I've made you laugh and all the things I've taught you.
What is the most important thing to you and why?
You. Why? Because I've never loved somebody so much in my entire life.
What experiences have you had that helped you throughout life?
Again, my parents. The strength of my parents and the knowledge that my parents have passed on to me is something that I would not be the person I am if it wouldn't have been for them.
Do you have any rules that you live your life by?
Yes, I do. I live by speak without offending and listen without defending.
Okay. Do you have any advice to give me?
Yes, I do. Do what makes you happy, but do it only if you know that it's the right thing to do. And sometimes doing the right thing is the most difficult thing.
Since I'm your grandson, this question's going to be hard for me. Just give me a minute. If you knew this was going to be our last conversation, is there anything you've never told me?
Nope, I tell you every day how much I love you. And I also tell you that if I wasn't here, that you know that I will reach you at 11:17, 11:13, 7:11, 7:13. I will be with you, following you all the time, and watching you just like my parents watch over me. I will always be with you.
What is your favorite dessert?
Man, that's tough. My mother's dream bars, which by the way, I brought some over today because my sister made them for me and I froze them so that I could have some today because 12 years ago today was when my mother passed away.
And how long ago was when your dad passed away?
My father passed away 15 years ago.
Okay, this wraps up the interview of Tawny Scott Tatum, and thank you for letting me interview you.
Well, thank you for choosing me to be interviewed.
Thanks for the time you gave me to interview you, and that's it.